Now we are 21st century. So see, these actually Lama institution, frankly speaking, developed during feudal system. So society changed, have to change. So some of these institutions, some sort of influence the existing society sort of system. Now that outdated. Therefore, as early as 1609, I publicly, officially, I announced the very institution of Dalai Lama should continue or not up to Tibetan people. If majority of Tibetan people at the time of my death feel now this century-old institution not much relevant, then automatically cease.
Do you think Tibet will ever be an independent country in your lifetime?
Now that we have to think realistically what's the real benefit to our people. We are a separate nation. But you see, for common interest, China, economically, you see, rapidly is developing, very good. So, Chinese also human being, we also human being. You see, too much emphasis, Tibetan and Chinese sort of differences. You see, again, you see, I think we have to think same human being, same right. In modern time, the concept of one-side victory, one-side defeat is unrealistic.
Do you think now China is doing more good than harm for Tibet?
That may be too early to say, but you see, there is possibility now going that direction. So we'll see.
You said...
But definite answer, you see, totalitarian countries sometimes is unpredictable. So difficult to say definite. But there is some signs of hope.
You have also been met on this trip by protesters, those who say that the rights of Shugden Buddhists
Yes.
have been banned in Tibet. Can you explain your response to Shugden Buddhism and why they appear to feel outlawed by you and your teachings?
It is my duty to tell what is the reality. Whether listen or not, up to individual. So these people, you see, they do not know the whole sort of story. And recently I was in Australia. This is some Shugden group. This is some protest. They stop lying. So including some young boy wear monk's robe and shouting. I really felt it's a pity. They do not know what was the 4 centuries sort of history and the recent history. I think these people should visit Tibet and then further investigate what really effect, you see, due to worship this spirit. Much sectarian conflict, like that.
I want to talk about conflict and religion. You referred to the work of ISIS as unthinkable. Does Buddhism have a practical response to ISIS, to international terrorism, to violence done in the name of religion?
Tunisia, I saw some newspaper, some pictures, some of these victims. That's, I think, a thing which we 7 billion human beings should take seriously. How to reduce these things, how to build a peaceful century, harmonious century. That ultimately depends on compassion, sense of concern of their life, sense of concern of their happiness, and that respecting their right. Once that develops, irrespective whether believer or non-believer, once you see that through education, through awareness. Once we develop that, then these unhappy sort of, what's the instance or these things. That
Do you ever have dark moments when you look at what's happening around the world, in Tunisia, in Syria, in Iraq, and you think the world is not getting better? There isn't compassion. I'm speaking to myself. That is not working.
when I saw a picture ready to called behead, with some kind of mosque. Right? So that indicates they themselves realize there's something wrong. If they truly believe this is right, then must show their face proudly. They're doing something. At the same time, they cover their face. I don't think that's right.
You've talked about your smile bringing people towards free Tibet. You love to laugh. What are the things that make you laugh? Do you have a favourite joke?
No, I always say, consider myself another just one human being. In the West, or many sort of, I think many cases, you see people mention their own name, their own sort of profession, these things. Then I felt, not necessary to introduce that way, just show the face, human face. That's the best way to introduce yourself.
You hate formality. You hate formality.
Yes, I hate. I really, I said, boring about too much formality. Unnecessary.
So what makes you laugh?
I think laughing, smile is something I think unique about a human being. God give us that sort of special thing. So we have to utilize that. Our unique thing, but still remain like tiger. No use.